Hi, yeah, I'm happy to step through how I built this. So I'm just going to give a little audio narrative to describe how to build this interaction just straight from the beginning because you can do a lot in Graspable Math, and then some of these things were just a little bit tricky, and in fact I had to play around with them a little to get them to work. So as Susan mentioned, you can go straight to math.new, and that works. That actually gets to the old version of the canvas, and I prefer this other one a little bit more, activities.graspablemath slash whiteboard slash new, so I'm going to go there. They're basically the same. They have a little more features on the new one. And then what I did was I actually entered a text. So then I had a text box that said, for a set of, and then what I did that was a little bit sneaky was I just put a bunch of blanks in there. And then I'm going to put the n in afterward and then say there are, and same way, proper subsets. And then I resized it in that arrange mode so that we got something like this. And then what I did was I stuck an n in. And we'll make this a little bigger and this just a little smaller so they line up. See, very sneaky. And then I put a k in over here just to hold on to that. And that's where I'm actually holding the terms themselves. And then what I did was put in the expressions. So here I made it a function by saying k of n. Function doesn't really mean anything. It just kind of holds all the terms together and then put in the thing I wanted. And then I think you saw I said n equals 2 to start out with. Now what I did then was use substitution. So we have the substitution feature that lets us put terms in and replace them, right? So that's actually like holding the fact that it's still connected. And in fact, if you go into scrub mode, you can kind of click on the terms. You can see, okay, this thing is connected to this thing and kind of see what's interconnected. In the case of the k, then I solve it and then I substitute it in. So I substitute the n in there, and now again we get that same connection. Solve it, and then what I did was I took this k, not this k of 2 and substituted it. I actually just took this k in and substituted in it. And that's because when I did the k of 2, it kind of breaks in scrub mode. We might get it working, but right now it kind of breaks right there. So that's how you make those connections work. And then we have Geogebra built right in. So I built a Geogebra window, kind of arranged it to the place that I wanted it. And sort of set the axes the way I wanted. You can do quite a lot with Geogebra, and you can even load kind of fixed Geogebra windows in there. But for this, it was enough just to set the axes, to something reasonable. And in fact, oh, this happened to me the last time too, so I'm not sure why that happened, and I want to look into it. But I just did it a couple times, and the couple times I did it, once it worked and once it didn't. So your mileage may vary there. And I assume I'm doing something that's making that happen, but I don't, like I said, I don't quite know what. So there is that. And then what I did, just again to make those connections fully, was I made a point and I named it something like capital P. And notice I'm going to say it's n and k here. I'm not saying a specific value. And the reason I'm doing that is because if I say it's n and k, then I can substitute in and have that connection again. Right? And then I drag the point in, and that links the point up with Geogebra. So now everything's interconnected in the way that I want them to be. And when I scrub this number, so I'll just sort of click on it, you can see everything's real interconnected there. But if I scrub on that number by clicking on it and dragging it, because those things are all interconnected, now they all kind of move in the same way. And you can see that they move in the same way because of that calculation. So that's what it did.